Hey, this is Ron with my contractor's license, and today we're going to go through a list of things to prepare for and what to expect when you go take a PSI exam. Number one, cancellations. If you're going to cancel an exam or not show for an exam, it counts against you. They will still charge you for that test, but more importantly, it counts as a failed attempt. So if you're taking an exam that you've got a limited number of attempts, it does count as a fail even if you do not show. So it's very important you cancel that exam 48 hours prior if you know you're not going to make it. Okay, so that means if you got a test on Tuesday morning, you need to cancel that Friday the week before. Number two, be 30 minutes ahead of time of your scheduled exam. So if you've got a 9 o'clock, be there at 8:30. I've actually seen them dismiss people and not let them take the test because they weren't there 30 minutes ahead of time. So don't show up dead on your scheduled time. You need to be there 30 minutes ahead of time. Number three, when you walk in there, you're going to be in there with a whole bunch of different kinds of folks taking a whole bunch of different exams. You might be the only person, the only contractor walking around with books under your arm. That's okay. But there's nurses, there's attorneys, there's cosmetologists, everybody taking all sorts of kind of exams. So you'll come into a room, they'll check you in, and you'll sit and wait until they get ready to bring you up. Number four, no watches, no phones. Be prepared. They may ask you to turn your pockets inside out. They may ask you to lift your pant leg. If you wear glasses, they'll ask to inspect your glasses. They're just looking for recording devices. They're very particular about what comes in and out of that actually testing room. Number five, they'll make some announcements when you first get there. That's at 30 minutes ahead of time. They will then call you up. When it's your turn, they'll call you up and you'll bring your ID and they will take a photo of you, okay, just to make sure you are who you say you are, but they've got a photo of you. This is a good time to ask about a break. If you did not hear the announcements or you're unclear, ask the person that's checking you in, say, hey, look, I'm taking a long exam or I'm taking multiple exams. How do I work a break? And they'll walk it, they'll tell you. Usually it's no more than 5 minutes. They may or may not stop the timer on your exam while you're taking that 5-minute break. They usually will ask you for your ID while you're taking that break, so the person that comes back, they can match it up. So just be aware of that and make sure you understand what the rules are. They will go through your books. They will inspect them before and a lot of times after, okay? So the books can be highlighted, they can be tabbed, and they can be underlined, okay? The tabs have to be permanent. No post-it notes, nothing they can remove. They will actually try to pull the tabs out, and until the page tears, they'll say they have to be in there solid to where the page will tear. If they check your books on the way out, they're looking to see if you've added any extra marks or anything like that. So you'll be very cautious about what you're doing while you're actually taking the exam. Don't mark your books. You'll be issued a set of plans if you're taking a trade exam, maybe even multiple sets of plans. Make sure they're legible, okay? Every once in a while we've had a set of plans that were just total trash, couldn't read them, so just make sure that they're legible. They will also at this time hand you a scratch sheet of paper. It's usually a colored sheet of paper so they can track it. And they also at this point in time usually will hand you your pencil and your calculator that they want you to use. You will then enter the exam room. They will issue you a computer terminal number. You just go to that computer terminal. The computers are usually pushed up against the wall and they're basically watching you from the back, but there's a lot of cameras in the room also, so just be prepared for that. Usually you'll have some workspace for your books, but not always, so don't count on that. It's very often you'll have to put your books in the floor and you'll work your books out of the floor, okay? So some places have tables they'll let you use for your books, but don't count on that. Some testing centers, the workspace is big enough, but again, don't count on that. So plan on working your books from the floor. With that being said, when you're putting your books in the floor, stack them in the order that you're going to work them. So use your sorting chart orders to say, okay, I want this book on top and work it down from that. That way you're not wasting a whole bunch of time reshuffling them. You will then, when you start your exam, there will be a 10-question test that'll pop up. It's a little test exam about the flag. It'll ask you a certain number of stripes and stars and all that. They're just trying to make sure you understand how the computer works and how to answer questions and all that. Of course, if you're one of our students, you're very familiar with how that screen, that testing screen looks and works. At this point, you can start building your sorting chart. Some proctors are very adamant. They won't let you write anything until your official test starts. But if you want to go ahead and build out your question sorting chart at this point while you're taking the 10 question beta test, usually it's not a big deal. So that should be everything on your test day of what to expect. If you'll check out the rest of our videos, we've got some more testing tips and resources for you to make sure you have a successful test day.